Thank you. I got a skinny piece of paper, so this isn't going to make the whole 10 minutes, but I want to speak from the heart for a moment. The benefit of age is that you get to see a lot of stuff. And Gyro worked under Chief Norton. I at least was here during a couple chief years, and then I've gotten to see the Swifts, and thank you very much for everything you guys have done for the camp. The Thralls, and that's been special. Frank Horton, Mac, obviously, and our present ownership. With special mention to Leslie and to Heidi, who have been a part of this for the last many years that we've been involved. Mac hit a couple of my lines that I wanted to talk about because I really wanted to thank Mac. We wouldn't be here under the tent. Maybe we would have thought of a reunion, but he thought of it 25 years ago, and it's been unbelievable. I've done all 5 of them. They get better every year. They're just phenomenal to do this, to bring all these people together, get the positive energy that we get. So thank you, and I hope many more of them. Mac, toasty on that one. The other thing I want to toast, and Mac alluded to it, but Roy Thrall made an incredibly important decision that we wouldn't be here in this tent right now if he hadn't done it. Similar to Mac, and this is where Mac learned it, Roy could have sold to somebody that had greater dollars, and it would have fit into a system. And don't get me wrong, Camp Tanamacoon, as we all know, is a terrific camp. Kim and Marilyn Smith are great friends of our camp. They refer people. We refer people to them. We're thrilled with the relationship. But it would have been a different camp. And Roy made the decision to go with Mac at the time, and I had a nice conversation with Jeff Thrall, who I'm thrilled to see, Jeff and his whole family, Marilyn. It was a tough decision for Roy to do. I mean, he was at the point in his life where he'd moved to South Carolina. He wasn't connected to the network and the spider web of friends where he could recruit. He didn't have the natural base, and he needed to sell. Mac was 28. He didn't know anything about running camps. I'm 60. I don't know anything about running camps. So the difference is I've got an unbelievable partner, so I can make up for it. But it was great that Roy made that decision. And 17 years later, Mac made the same decision, and Mac had, options and choices. And Mac left the campsite better than he found it, just like Slads and I want to leave the campsite better than we found it. Each of the owners has been incredibly lucky. I'd love to take all sorts of credit, but it's the people up on this island. Each of the owners has had a director of tripping, has had an Indian lore, has had maintenance and facility, has had these key people. And Bob Rogo alluded to a lot of them from the 50s, and they're names that are legendary with us. But a lot of the names that are going to be legendary 30, 40 years from now are in this tent. And they're the reason this camp runs so incredibly well. We alluded to it before. The staff that we've got now is unbelievable compared to what it was in our day. We didn't know what we were doing. These guys really know what they're doing, and it's special. Pathfinder now has got thousands of alumni. What makes this event special is that every one of you wanted to be here, made the time, effort, distance covered to be here. And that's where the positive energy is coming from. As you look around the room, look how many sons and daughters, legacy members that we've got in family. We just had Brooks up here. We've got Reed Ferguson, who, by the way, was in a picture with me in 1961 as a Micmac Chippewa, along with Jeff Thrall. I mean, now we've got Reed's kids, we've got the Hurleys, we've got the Rands, the Arthurs, it just goes on. We're lucky, we're blessed, and that's going to continue, and that's the strength of this organization. I could talk about infrastructure because that is my favorite topic on this island. But everybody knows that I like to do that stuff and I like to focus on it. But what they don't really realize is I have a few beers, I think of these projects and these thoughts. SLADS is the one that executes them. The best decision that I've made on Camp Pathfinder Island is teaming up with SLADS. And I just want to... Where is he? Oh. I didn't know where you are. I'm just going to talk about that for a moment. I couldn't write down enough stuff, so I'm talking from the cuff here. 14 years ago, we went on a canoe trip together, the two of us. It was May. We hadn't even run the summer one time. We were sitting up on Misty, McIntosh, whatever. We had vodka with us. This is before I was a part owner of Double Cross Vodka, and by the way, that's a shameless plug, but I can't help it. We talked about our vision, what we wanted to do. And we kind of had this philosophical discussion. I mean, I was all about fixing infrastructure, and I wanted to do this and do that. And Mike kept talking about program, people. You know something? They weave together, and it's been a great combination. And he has done an awesome job at developing the programs that you see, developing the staff. People always say to me, well, okay, he's here from April to October. Then what does he do? What do you mean, then what does he do? This is a full-time job. I think he works harder in the winter than he does in the summer, and we know what he does in the summer. It's incredible to see it. I get to see it firsthand, and I thank the lucky stars every single day that he's my partner, because otherwise I'd have to be involved in doing this stuff. And So it's been a terrific blend, a zig and a zag. I'm blessed. I talked earlier in the spring with SLADS, and he said that he would like to do this for a long time yet. We didn't put a timetable on it, and as long as he wants to continue to do it, I'm in. Yeah. So, Okay, this is the third part of the chat, and then I'm done, and the next person can move on. A lot of our experiences, collective, that are on this island are shaped by people and events and things that happen to us. For me, a canoe trip. Bob Rogo alluded to the fact that he was the director of tripping during the 1970s. When you look back on it, he had two future owners of the camp as staff underneath him. And they weren't easy because we wanted it and we wanted it all. He had Mike Sladden as a camper at that period of time. I used to argue with Bob all the time. We'd go through people or route. Which one would you like? And I'd look at him with all seriousness and I'd say, I want both. So he'd give you the choice. And eventually I realized that as much as I wanted the route, I wanted the Des Moines, and then I wanted to circle back and go down it again, it was the people. It's the people that you tripped with, the staff you tripped with, the campers that you had. So I got the opportunity in 2002 to do a canoe trip, 17 days down the Missinaibi River, which was an experience of a lifetime. But just as important as that route, and far more important, I should say, was the opportunity to trip with Emmett Hurley, even though I couldn't stand him then. Where are you, Emmett? 'Cause I know he's in here somewhere. It was a blessing, and to have Bob Rogo and Teddy Hubbard on the trip. That was a trip of a lifetime for us. We had a Pathfinder award winner, we had a tripping award winner on that trip, and it was a special trip. So in closing, I want to say we all have our personal remembrances, but I bring this trip up because Bob Rogo is going to be, I'm going to throw you right under the bus, Bob, is going to be 70 years old in the next 2 weeks. He has been here forever. If I said I'm 60, he's 70. And he has been an unbelievably important person in my life up here at camp, and he's been important to so many people. So I just want to pay a little tribute to him on an early birthday. Thank you, Bob. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Bobby. Happy birthday to you. And now, one of the highlights of the evening, you get to hear it from the lips of the guy that makes this place run, Mike Sladden.